In the first part of our Lotus Esprit teardown, we blew the doors off, and I did something that got the comment section triggered. I showed you one very abused wiring harness. It's obvious that the fear of 12-volt electrics is still very real, so in this classic recap I'll remove the loom entirely. Don't be scared. Basic auto electrics is easy. Let me clue you into some of the hardship our Lotus Esprit has endured since '78. The white and blue wire was chewed by a mouse. See the teeth marks? And those crimp connections? Well, my guess is they're the work of whoever pulled the instrument binnacle out of the car to retrim it. Man, there's only one word to describe the mess. Shit! Doesn't this tangle kind of look like a bush? Like a bush from the 70s? Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. So maybe you could say, we're about to do some trimming. And that's all there is to it. No notes and no labelling. And to explain why that's not important, here's me from a long time back. I thought I would do a kind of 12-volt negative earth wiring, automotive wiring 101. And that's where Bibendum comes in. I found this guy in a little collectibles place in the west of Ireland, and I would say he must have been on a truck or something. Someone's let a little 12-volt bulb into his back so that he can light up. And there are two wires, a black one and a red one. Bibendum, by the way, this guy is as old as 1898. He is one of the oldest advertising entities in the world. And Bibendum, he's the Michelin man, but Bibendum is how he first appeared. And it is Latin, and it's from Horace. It's from a Horace poem. And it's an expression, the full phrase is nunc est bibendum, which means now is the time to drink. So I should probably have a beer sitting here, but I don't. Anyway, we are going to assume that this steel top on the bench and the vise is the body of your car, because the body of your car is part of your electrical system, and nobody ever says that, but if you think of it that way, it's a clearer picture of what's going on. So I'm going to use the black wire and earth it to the body of our car or the bench via the vise here, and now the red wire has become the positive. Okay, so what I'm going to do with the positive is I'm going to put it onto the positive pole of the battery, and I just have a little bit of steel here to hold it on there, and I have another piece of wire here. This battery is kind of like the water pump in your car, in the sense that electricity, like the coolant in your car, flows, hence the expression current. And the way a lead acid battery is set up, the current wants to flow from the negative side of the battery to the positive and out, but it's got nowhere to go until you give it a full circuit. So what we can assume here is the red wire is full of electricity because it's trying to flow out here through bibendum, but it has got nowhere to go. It's like if the water pump was pumping your fluid in the engine, but there's a blockage. The fluid literally can't move, it can't go anywhere. The same deal is going on here. The blockage in this case is that there is no full circuit. There is not a connection between the steel of the bench and the negative pole of the battery. What I'm going to do is take this other wire, put it on the negative pole, okay, a little bit of steel there to hold it on, and if I touch this down onto the steel top of the bench, which you remember is the body of our car, bibendum lights up because there is a full circuit here, and now the electrical current is flowing across the battery, through the red wire, through the bulb, lighting it, through the vise, along the bench top, and back into the battery, and it is a continuous cycle there. And this is what an electrical system is in your car, and your loom is just multiples of this taped together. There is one of these for everything in your car. So there's one for your wiper, there's one for your heater, your rear emister, your window lift motors, and they're all just bunched together, and each wire for each system is given a different color so that you can trace it, and that is it. And yes, there are relays and fuses and maybe rheostats and all sorts of things the newer the car is, but again, they're really simple concepts and we will deal with them another time. So
alright, before we get into stripping some more of the car, I should say that you need to know you've got a wiring schematic for your car before you rip the loom out without labeling anything. That's all I've got for you. This may not have been the episode you were expecting, but world events, and I am intentionally not mentioning what, have meant that logistics, well, have gotten logistical. I'll be back ASAP, hopefully with progress on the Esprit chassis, so stay tuned. This series is funded by the support of patrons. Think of it like buying your favourite car magazine. If you think you'd like to lend your support, find the link to my website in the description where you'll find all support options and merchandise. If not, that's cool too. Like, subscribe and share with any car guys you think would like it. To my new patrons, Bernard McLake, Stephen Murphy, Nicholas Smith Cameron, Connor O'Connor, Max House, Ishmael Emra Akan, Tim Klein Hitpass, Thomas G, Richard Hughes, Brian Rack, Dean Pommy, Jens Bagger, Stuart Taylor and Kevin McLaughlin, and to all my patrons, thanks for the good vibes and the support. I'll see you next time, so until then, brave the lethargy, brave the weather, get stuck in, and good luck.